What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I was sitting down and I was thinking, what do I want to record today? And I looked at a few things and then it hit me. Today is February 13th, 2026. We're 10 days away from the 26th anniversary of the Pelican Bay Riot. So I said, you know what? Let me do another video on that time. What was going on? See, we had been on standby for that riot for a while, for months. If I remember right, we were actually going to get off second yard in December. And a dude who should have never, ever been made aware of the plans, a dude that wasn't from a barrio, he ran southern. His celly told him, gave him a knife, because they weren't running the trades. They weren't running shoe factory and all that other stuff. And that day they did. And this guy, his name was Pato. Pato was in the cell and they announced shoe factory and whatever other trades, right? And Sally jumped up. He had a knife and he gave it to his Sally. He gave it to Pato and said, hey, get this out. When you go to yard, go to the homies. It's going down today. Pato wasn't one of those dudes that needed to be aware. He wasn't on a need-to-know basis. But his Sally looking out for him because Pato was... his head was... He just was not right. And he told him, well, who we're getting into it with? And he said, the blacks. His Sally went off to work. And Pato immediately let the cops know. And so that's why it didn't happen in December of 99. That threw a monkey wrench in. And then there were other dudes that came from the shoe, homies. And it got very, very political. I've done a lot of videos on the riot. And I've talked about it in every single one of them. That riot shouldn't have had to happen. People dropped the ball. And it wasn't the raza. The guy who was the target, he should have been got by the blacks. The thing is he was a Crip, but he was also a Muslim. He was a J-Cat. He was a guy that wasn't all there. That's why the disrespect happened, because he wasn't all there. But the way prison works is a guy can't disrespect somebody and then his group or his people turn around and say, you can't take that serious. He's a J-Cat. The guy's not playing with a full deck. Well, then remove him. Get him out of here. Because at least as far as the raza, like if you run Southerner and you exhibit that you're a J-Cat, and if you ever disrespect another group, you're getting whacked. No questions asked. And so for months, 3 different groups of blacks said that they were going to handle this guy. No one ever did. And like I said, finally they just told him, man, these essays ain't letting up, so just roll it up. That way everything's cool. And it doesn't work that way, because what happened was that guy left unharmed after disrespecting people. And then he became a problem for another yard. And that's a bad look. So that's when it was decided, since they let him go, we have to get into it with them. Because they have to know in the future, everybody has to be held accountable. Right? And so you had the in 99, I believe it was August 31st, the whites and the blacks got into it, right? And so they were having incidents. Like, they ran yard every day. The administration said, nah, we're not going to make this lockdown last. We're going to run yard every day. And it got to where there weren't very many whites left on the yard. But they were still locked down, right? Every single building. Remember, so on B yard 1 and 2 building and 2 sections of 3 building, those were all like psych people, right? That 1 and 2 building was the shoe for the psych people. And B and C section in 3 building was EOP. So those guys back then would come out to yard with us, right? But then you had 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and you had A section and 3, right? That were all regular. And when I tell you that every building had a bunch of volunteer tier tenders that all happened to be bald-headed Mexicans from Southern California, that's a fact. And every one of them was running around with a knife on them. Those of you that have never been in that type of environment, the reality is it's very stressful. You're walking around with knives on you. You're just waiting for the word, hey, go now. You go out to yard. You have your crew. Now, I think a lot of people don't get it. No matter how many Southerners there are on the yard, when it comes time, when a decision is made, when this is a thing that's not just spur of the moment, you're going to have the guys that you're the coolest with, right? And so you huddle up. Hey, what's up, Holmes? Who you want to get? What crowd you want to rush? And so you discuss it. And you go to other crews of Southerners. Hey, what's up? Where you vatos plan on moving? We're going to hit this table over here, or we're going to hit that table. Hey, we're going to hit the basketball court. Hey, well, you know what? We were talking about hitting, whoa, whoa, whoa. And you coordinate. Imagine that. You know that the gun towers are going to light the yard up. You don't have time to worry about it. The focus is who's attacking what spot of the yard to make sure that there's no spot left untouched. And then you had the guys that, like the guys that wanted to rush the basketball court. I don't think you guys understand when you look at the video and you see what's happening on the basketball court. That's only one of the basketball courts. They never show the other side. You can see the fence on the left when you look at the video. Right over that, next, there's the other basketball court. On both basketball courts, when you rush the basketball court, you're running into gunfire. And you had dudes that were like, fool, I'm rushing that basketball court. Because they wanted the notoriety. They wanted the fame. You had guys because of the indoctrination, the studies of our ancestors, the belief that it's glorious to die in battle. And I remember in the days leading up to it, and I remember the day before the riot, a friend of mine, we knew each other from YA. And I remember him clearly saying, tomorrow's a good day to die, big dog. And a lot of people agreed. Part of it is you're doing life. Why live another 20, 30 years? Let's get it over with. Let's get busy. And that's the sad part. You have young men, middle-aged men, plotting savagery over a few words spoken by a guy that wasn't playing with a full deck. You also had during that time Southerners politicking on Southerners, plotting on whacking each other during the riot. I don't remember if I ever really went into detail on that. But you had rival factions claiming leadership on the yard. And when it was heard, man, we're going to move on these fools during the riot. Other people had to step in that weren't taking sides and saying, hey, Owens, you can't do that. You can't whack another homie during a riot with another faction. For one, it goes down on their tally. For two, you handle your business later. You can get them in the oil. Whatever issues you guys got going on, handle it together, head up. The day before the riot, 2 Southerners got whacked by Southerners. It was a very, very strange time, very hateful, stressful time. That was 26 years ago today. Every single day, wake up, get your strap, flash that light, try to get out there on the tier, grab a broom, act like you're working, and you're just waiting. You're waiting to hurt another man for something another man did. There's no such thing as individuals in prison. No matter what you run with, who you run with, what you claim, you're a small part of something a whole lot bigger. You don't matter, but you are being watched. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.